kind of weird. This mirrors a video that I talked about, a couple of days ago with the Ja Morant, the Grizzlies guy. His situation where he's waving a gun around at a strip club. Like, dude, what are you doing anyways? But harkens back to the quality of people that you surround yourself with is really going to dictate your future success. And here we have somebody who's just kind of got a really good public persona, even though the recent Super Bowl kind of jaded it. It's like, oh, so that's going to be the NFL's new chosen boy. Okay, great. But no, even as somebody who doesn't really watch football like that anymore, I know Patrick Mahomes. You know Patrick Mahomes. But what do you know about Patrick Mahomes? He is a great football player. He's an incredibly talented guy. No real personality deficiencies, no real diva behavior, anything like that. He's cut from the cloth of success. It's getting tattered at the edges by the people that he surrounds himself with. And this is a tough situation that I know a lot of people have to deal with. A really troublesome family member. And guess what? I'm going to take a line from Justin Waller, who I think is just an exceptional person that if you like the type of stuff that I talk, you will definitely learn a lot from Justin J. Waller. And he says this: fuck blood, fuck water, okay? Doesn't matter who they are to you. If they're a detriment to your life, you have to get rid of them. Otherwise, the consequences will compound and they will be dire. Like, I've got some extended family members that are just shitty people, drug addicts, drunks, you know, they've been divorced multiple different times. Outside of my immediate family, like my parents, I don't associate with any of them. I haven't seen most of them. There might be a one-off every... Oh, yeah, no. Like, I can count the handful of occasions since my 16th birthday in, on, and around that area. I think that's the last time we had a big family reunion from either side of the family, which, here's the real deal. Outside of a couple of funerals, I haven't seen either side of my parents is very extended. Like, they've got gigantic families. We just haven't seen for a long time. Mostly because outside of a couple of exceptions, and I don't know who's watching from that, and I frankly don't fucking care because you know it as well as I do. Y'all motherfuckers are losers out there. Some of you guys are losers, and that's why we don't associate with you. I don't know what to tell you, man. Might be putting my family on blast, but that's the way that I think about it. I surround myself with good people. I listen to positive and affirming and knowledgeable sources, regardless if you're family members or not. I'm not going to keep you around if you're going to be a detriment to my life. And not too many people approach a situation like that because they don't want to step on toes. Fuck it. I don't care. The only person I'm trying to oppress and bring up is this guy right here. That's what I would encourage more people. Make yourself your own mental point of origin. Stop trying to impress everybody else that's out there. Stop trying to bring dorks that don't want to come up alongside you. That's what Patrick Mahomes is going to have to learn here with his brother because, yo, we talk a lot about some crazy fake allegations, some obviously fake allegations on behalf of some women that are out there. Like, you got the Marilyn Manson accusers, Amber Heard, the girls who put bad faith on Trevor Bauer's name, who's now been blackballed from baseball, which is so monumentally stupid. But I digress. The list of names are a mile long. Courtney Clenny, when that bitch go into trial? Because I want to see that, and I want to roast that broad every fucking day she's in trial. But regardless, every once in a while, there's a situation when some claims are 1000% true, and this is one of them, without a doubt. Because there is footage right here, and there is no reasonable way that you can interpret this in a different light. Security footage emerges at the moment Jackson Mahomes, who is quite a spotlight hog, and I don't like it. I don't like anybody that just needs to take advantage of somebody else's situation and try to clout jack. Because this motherfucker was posting TikToks while on the field while his brother was celebrating his second Super Bowl championship. Like, bro, it's not about you. Is really not about you. If you want to give a behind-the-scenes look on things, that's terrific, but nobody wants you to see your shitty version of the Charleston out there on the field. Just fuck off. Wait for your moment, bro. Make yourself the person that everybody's going to be turning out for, but chances are you don't have the talent, you don't have the skills, but you got a famous last name. The shit doesn't fly. Anyways, is accused of sexually assaulting a female bar owner, and spoiler, that's the way that I looked at it, and that's what I seen. The brother of two-time Super Bowl champion Patrick Mahomes has been accused of assault and sexually assaulting a 40-year-old woman at a bar just outside of Kansas City. That's what it looks like, bro. But we'll run it back. Maybe you can see something different. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I have, like I said, I have no great love for Patrick Mahomes. I have no great love for Jackson Mahomes. Frankly, I don't give a fuck what anybody wants to do in regards to either. If you're a diehard Chiefs fan, I don't know where the fuck you were prior to Mahomes showing up, but seems to be a lot of those lately. I'm just here to peep the fact. He's been accused of assault and sexually assaulting a 40-year-old woman at a bar just outside of Kansas City. According to the Kansas City Star reporter, Jackson Mahomes, known for his outlandish behavior at NFL stadiums, and that's another red flag that's out there. It's put a leash on your brother so he's not making you look a fool, because there's only bad shit that can happen. Just like this scenario. He's accused of forcibly kissing the female owner of the bar. He does a little bit more than that. That's actually downplaying it, which is kind of weird. And also, I thought he was gay. Anyways, in addition, he is accused of shoving a 19-year-old male waiter on several occasions. Police are currently investigating the situation. Oh no, he just got drunk, and he's not responsible for his actions. Like, if this was Jasmine Mahomes, yo, this wouldn't be a thing. But this would be one of those Cardi B situations where she just kind of shows up and it's like, well, I'll just take my punishment whenever it's convenient for me. Stupid broad. Anyways, the alleged incidents took place on February 25th at Aspen's Restaurant and Lounge in Overland Park, Kansas. Owner Aspen Vaughn said that she has a video of Mahomes attempting to kiss her twice and grabbing hold of her neck. Yeah, and it's not like one of those finesse plays. It's, oh man, it looks like he's trying to kidnap her, if we're going to keep it a buck. But yo, yeah, there you got some stills right there, and the stills don't really do it justice, because there's a couple of things that's like, okay, yeah, you play it. She's like, oh yeah, what are you doing? Ha ha ha, that's all funny. But yeah, for the sake of this, I think we're going to go full. Actually, you might be able to peek this, because it is kind of mirrored just a little bit. Yeah, you can see everything that's on there, so I can just go ahead and present it like this. So yeah, there you can see. And then, yo, he just goes right in, and she's kind of having none of it by trying to push away his face. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? No, stop doing that. Help me. Yeah. And then I don't know what she's doing right after that. Yeah, no, she's playing with her mouth. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, no, just trying to justify it, looking away. And then he does it again. And then, you know, she's like, oh, stop it. You're just being silly. But there are some tells, okay? Oh man, this stupid Daily Mail. I just wanted to run B-roll underneath of that. But yeah, no, when she's all hemmed up like that, there's no engagement. There's just like, yeah, no, I just kind of need to play this off because your last name is Mahomes and we're in Kansas. And yeah, I just don't want to have a negative opinion of my bar in the greater sphere. So I'm just going to have to go ahead and kind of play this off. And that's just somebody who thinks that they have more clout than they actually do, trying to pull a shitty situation like that. Like, the fuck are you doing? He doesn't want it. You made your move like a sloppy fucking drunk. Like, she is... Every single body language tell that you have right there is she's pushing your head away. It's not playful or anything like that. The rest of her body is about as straight as a mannequin. That pelvis is trying to leave the area, man. Like, she wants fucking none of that. Her feet are pointed square away. You come back the second time and she's once again just looking for options to leave the situation. There is no riz, no game to that at all whatsoever. That's assault, bro. Like I said, I call out on both sides of this shit. It's very rare when you see an occasion where somebody's got a legit claim on this. He forcibly kissed me out of nowhere, she told the Star. And I'm telling him, pushing him off, saying, what are you doing? There's no sound. So obviously I'd play it if we could, because there'd be a further level of analysis on top of this. But if there is a copy where there is exonerating audio where she's like, oh, just stop it, you're just being silly, or there's some sort of, you know, underlying tell that's right there, because girls are flumpy sometimes when it comes to that stuff. It's like, oh, stop, I don't want to do this. But her tone and her body language is telling two different tales, and it's like, okay, you know exactly what time it is. But that, by just looking at body language, yeah, she wants none of that. He then proceeded to do it 2 more times, and the last time I was pushing him off, and you can see in the cameras that somebody was outside the office door. Ooh, and I was yelling for them to come help because he's big and massive. It's disgusting, Vaughn said to Mahomes at the time. Like you're a child, and he was trying to say, oh, we should be a power couple, bruh. And I'm like, clearly you're out of your mind right now. The teenage waiter who chose to remain unnamed, said Mahomes would not let access to the staff office. Yo, what the fuck? I was going into our office downstairs where the employee and the employees are in the employee area, and he's downstairs. I don't know for what reason. Well, I think he thinks he has more clout than he actually does. That's exactly what this is. I'm trying to get out of the office, and he's like pushing me out, and he's like, no, get out, get out. But yeah, how did he end up in the office? It's like, okay, how did this situation start? Well, obviously, he's got a big head on his shoulders. He's gonna go down right to the boss, trying to make something happen. I don't know if he's drunk at the time or anything like that. Because, bruh, if you think that you're going to make a power couple with a 40-year-old bar owner, it's like, yo, even that dork can do a little bit better. But, yo, as you can see from that picture right there, Patrick is like, the fuck is going on? And shout out to the Andy Reid cosplayer just over his shoulder. But it's like, you need to put some boundaries on these people. Otherwise, they're out of your inner circle. And that also goes for his wife as well, who, like, if he doesn't hold frame, there's another recently retired football player that just learned a very difficult lesson right now. And, well, because the NFL is trying to fit him for that crown, there's a fairly analogous comparison to be made here. Brittany Mahomes, a Chiefs star... Oh, yeah, Chief Star's wife, that's very cumbersome to say, calls out grown men talking shit following Joe Rogan's divorce comment. And here's another thing that I didn't think that I'd be saying all that often. I agree with Joe Rogan, who I did, in fact, accurately call out way back in the day. It's one of the first handful of videos that I ever put out there where I made the comparison between Joe Rogan signing his gigantic Spotify deal to that of Howard Stern when he signed his gigantic Sirius, because it was Sirius at the time. Those contracts, how just the degradation of quality of Howard Stern, how Joe Rogan, hopefully he can avoid that, but spoilers, he didn't care ultimately about the censorship, and then he just started capitulating, and now nobody really gives a fuck unless he just dunks on somebody on CNN. Otherwise, just the continued release of podcasts, nobody really fucking cares. But anywho, Brittany Mahomes, the wife of Kansas City Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes, has gone to social media yet again. That's another problem. That's another big red flag. Your girl on social media big like that, that's a problem. If you got a wife of a superstar like that, just peek Derek Jeter's wife's social media. That's what it should be looking like. She knows she's with the man. She's with Derek Jeter. Brittany Mahomes is with the king of the NFL right now. She's out here wilding out. Like, that is totally unacceptable behavior. In a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, the UFC commentator was discussing the Mahomes family with comedians and fellow podcasters Shane Gillis, Mark Normand, and Ari Shafir, and they were roasting Brittany and Jackson Mahomes. Ta-da! This is why you would have a squeaky clean image if you kept yourself squeaky clean. This is why I need to do some trimming right now. You know what I like, though? I came around on Jackson Mahomes. Shane Gillis said, I'm a fan. His brother does TikToks, and his annoying wife that screams. Everyone hates on them, and it actually makes me happy. Shane? Like, the fuck are you doing? Patrick Mahomes has a wife that's just wild. She's up in the box and films herself. That's a problem. Again, that's a big fucking problem, because if they're out there like that, this is why having a wife that's big on social media, or just entertaining a chick that has a lot of clout on social media, it's a problem. Because we know exactly why women are on social media, and it's for male attention. And if you got a big platform like that and you consistently post on there, and if it's not about your husband, all that tells me is there's a lot of excess emotion that isn't being satiated. And it's going to end up eventually blowing up and manifesting in very destructive ways. So yes, Patrick is obviously the man, and then he's got a crazy wife and a brother up in the box doing all that shit. Then Joe Rogan said his piece. The problem is they keep the same energy when you get divorced. They come after you with that same energy. Yo, Rogan wants to dunk on Manosphere guys for just having warped opinions on things. That right there is exactly the talking point right there. It's like, come on. Brittany Mahomes seemed to take exception to the entire segment and appeared to tweet this in response to Rogan and his guests. Something about grown men talking shit about somebody's wife is real weird. Well, it's accurate. And it's obvious that your husband's not giving you structure, or you're just causing him headaches. And you have to realize that being a quarterback of his stature, he is one bad hit away from you having box seats to having a cell box out on the street. Actually, grown-ass men hating on women in general is pathetic. Is that hating or is it an accurate description? But oh yeah, women also can't take accountability for their shitty actions. She added with the woozy faced emotion at the end. Ugh, God. Anybody who unironically uses emojis, you know you're dealing with somebody with the mentality of a child. Both tweets came out 3 days after Rogan's podcast went live. That just also goes to show you how relevant Rogan is, that it took him 3 days in order for that to end up coming across her newsfeed. Bro, remember when he was real popping on YouTube? Oh well, that seems like a lifetime ago. But she's not all that to be pulling that type of shit, because she just looks like, yo, somebody that Patrick pulled out of the trailer park, if we're going to keep it a buck. Brittany Mahomes has not been shy with her comments against haters. After the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, she followed her husband and tight end Travis Kelce in asking those that doubted Kansas City to give them an apology. Oh, great. What position did she play? How did she help everybody out? She has also never shied away from trolling herself on social media, which includes telling Cincinnati Bengals Cancun on 3 after the Chiefs defeated them at Arrowhead Stadium when Cincinnati called Burrowhead Stadium in reference to the quarterback never losing against Kansas City until that game to advance to the Super Bowl. That girl is trouble right there, Patrick. You are never going to hear this, but people close to you are probably telling you this story. If you don't get her in line, she's going to cause you significant problems, because what right now is just some excess energy being spent on social media. It's not always going to stay like that, because that thirst doesn't just get quenched. It continues to grow and grow and grow. And eventually the drama that's just on social media, that's never going to work. That's never going to happen. It's going to end up coming into real life. It's going to end up in scenarios like your brothers out there doing, just making you look like a background player in a social media post, making you look like the third most important guy in a picture after the accomplishment of one of your greatest games. Somebody that is the was he the MVP of the Super Bowl? I didn't watch because sports is gay. But you're there. You put all of those asses in all of those seats, and you're the third most important person in that picture. Maybe the fourth. If you keep acting like that, your kid's going to start to outshine you after your wife starts making you look like an asshole. I lay all that criticism out there with absolutely no hate in my heart. It's just, I've seen patterns like this happen before, and I know if you surround yourself with low character people, they will eventually drag you down like crabs in a bucket. And he has way too much talent, way too much promise, way too many things to accomplish. You just can't be surrounding yourself with dorks if they're your husband or wife or even your brother. It's a tough bond to break, but sometimes you have to just do that. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.